This constitutional amendment, Bill number 3, is saying elections interfere with projects and development. Let's extend the presidential and parliamentary terms with 2 more years to 2030. Who has seen it so far that this constitutional amendment, Bill number 3, is trying to implement what I said in 2022 and 2023? That elections are useless in Zimbabwe. That's what they're doing now. And it's not makazviona here kuti zvakataurwa naChiwenga kuti dai tambomira zvema-elections ndo zviri kutaurwa nenyika yese. This is my first time commenting officially on the constitutional amendment bill number 3. I was quiet until today, officially at least. The reason why I was quiet is that this matter is water under the bridge.
Yes.
Those who are frantic and restless and anxious about it today, they are not looking at the current situation obtaining on the ground, and they have a shorter memory. I cannot deal with their amnesia. But my point is, foregoing elections to save lives and money, using that money to develop the country, I suggested it before the 2023 election. And you castigated me, criticized me, and you said, why am I trying to do that? We want to do elections and elect a new leader, which is again a demonstration of a nagging amnesia and a serious problem of oversimplifying the Zimbabwean political situation. Elections cannot change issues to do with who is governing Zimbabwe. Elections have failed for the past 25 years. Tsvangirai won elections 2 times, and they could not hand over power to Tsvangirai. The South African former president Thabo Mbeki knows about this. The former Botswana president Seretse Khama knows about this. The former vice president of Zimbabwe, of Malawi, Joyce Banda, knows about this. The former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, knows about this. The late president of Tanzania, John Pombe Magufuli, knew about it. There's nothing new. These African presidents, when they hear that there's an election in Zimbabwe, they demand for another coffee and say, give us next, refill the cup of coffee. It's a foregone conclusion. They will retain the status quo. What I'm saying now does not mean I support the constitutional amendment bill number 3. Neither am I saying it is good for us to have very, very ineffective election cycles that do not deliver the agenda of elections. That's not it. I'm not saying I support it, let them do it. The way they are doing it is wrong. But the idea to do it is not wrong. Those who are doing it are not the right people to do it. The way they are doing it is not the right way to do it, at least in accordance with the law. The law says they must do 2 referendums. They don't want to do 2 referendums. They are saying legal garbage to manipulate the brains of the already unwilling people to learn what the document, the constitution actually says. How to amend the constitution, it's there. It's not difficult to have a copy of the constitution. You need just data to download it from the government repositories. So, as a church now, we do not put the idea of having a new president ahead of more important issues. We are a church that knows the law of God. Let's talk about elections in the allegory of a marriage. Elections is a system where a man marries a new wife. So if every time you want to marry a new wife, you have to kill 3 men who wanted to marry the same woman, is the marriage necessary to cost the lives of 3 men? That's the point. But it's my right to marry any woman that I want to marry if I can afford to marry. It's your right. But when your right is costing lives, lives are more important than your marriage. So our focus is not just the desperate desire for Zimbabweans to have a new president who does not come from ZANU-PF. No. In as much as that may be a very important conversation to have, our concern as the church is that every election that has happened in Zimbabwe since 1980 has costed somebody's life. And even if one person dies, the Zimbabwean situation has become an altar. Zimbabwe elections are an altar where the Zimbabwean sons and daughters die and their blood is spilled. That is an abomination. So every time we do elections, we lose human life. So elections are more important in Zimbabwe than the lives of the people that are to be governed after elections. That is a very worrisome paradox. To anybody who knows God, it's unacceptable. It doesn't matter who wins the elections. If somebody dies simply because he attended a political rally, that election is cursed by God. It doesn't matter who killed the person. It doesn't matter how many people died. One life is far too many when it comes to the principles of God. This is why we tell you Zimbabwe is cursed. I love my country, but according to the provisions of this book, our nation is cursed. And this is one of the epitomic symptoms of a curse. Anything that needs blood to be spilled for it to be successful does not come from God. Anything chinoda kuti munhu afe asina chaatadza kuti chiitike, chinhu ichocho chakatukwa naMwari. Ndosaka pamuchato chaipo pakadonha munhu akafa, vari pamuchato, vanhu vanotoenda kunobvunza kuti tatadza chii kuna Mwari. Nokuti pamuchato panofanirwa kufarwa. Panofanirwa kutanga mhuri ichabara upenyu hwevana vachazvarwa imomo. Hapafanirwa kuitika rufu pamuchato. Zvine tsananguro kuti munhu adonha sei pamuchato akafa. Nekuti aigona kuzofira kumba apedza muchato. Saka every time we do elections, after elections, some people are admitted into hospitals. Some people will be burying their relatives because of elections. That alone is
This is the current situation we are having in our country. Isusu says news media tiripo pakutsvagira nyaya tinouya nenyaya atinenge tadziita hatina chatinowedzera kana kutapudza. Thank you so much for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, like and share. And for that, I'm signing out.